Welcome to part 10 of Come Follow Me. And this is Come Follow Me. Let's go meet Matthew. And this is January the 5th, 2025, by man's calendar. And you know what? I one time I had a vision about a newspaper clip from 2025. It was kind of weird. I had a vision of it, and I was like, and I actually got to see that the year date was 2025, and I was like, that's not what year it is. Well, first it had this other date saying it was like 6,000 something, and I was like, oh, that's wrong. And I kind of shook my head, and I was like, no. And I looked, and as I continued to look on at this vision, the paper changed, and it changed the date to what I would recognize, but I still, it was wrong. It was saying 2025, and I was like, no, that's not right either. That's still years in the future. At the time that I had that particular vision, it was. And when I had that vision, um, there was a picture on the front page that caught my attention, and it was of Pottus. And he was in a king's crown and a royal robe. Yeah, the Pottus that is coming back in currently, that will be inaugurated on the 20th. Yeah, that's what I'm referring to. He was on the front page of this newspaper, and something happened, and he had done something really spectacular, and he was crowned king because he was in this newspaper clip. And thing is, then it jumped ahead to a different date of when the picture actually took place, but it started in 2025 is what the newspaper was trying to show me. And I was like, wow, this is weird, but okay. So that is one of the reasons I knew that Pottus would be back into office in 2025. That's how I knew that he would win the election. And there was no doubt in my mind. God doesn't show us things for no reason. That plus some other things the Lord has showed me and told me. Many things has the Lord showed me and told me, and many things I am not permitted to share. What I'm permitted to share, I do. But I seem to get rebuttal for even doing that a lot of times because people don't like it when you tell them the truth. They like their delusions and they want to stay in them. I don't want to stay in a delusion. I want the Lord's truth. Jesus, not Lucifer's. We got to realize that sometimes when people say God, they're not referring to Jesus. They're sometimes referring to their God, which they don't call by name, they just call by title. Because they know if they spoke out their God's name, that other people would not agree with them. And I try to tell you in today's time that everybody serves the same God. He just goes by many names. No, he doesn't. No, one Lord, one faith, one baptism. That's it. That's all there is. There is no others. Jesus is God. He's the only one. He ain't going to share his bill with nobody else. because he's a jealous God. He is not going to share his glory with anybody else because he's a jealous God. And some people are about to find that out because he will abase you. And it's coming. You can count on that. When you try to steal his glory, he will definitely abase you. You won't like it. I can tell you that. But it's coming. Prepare for it because it's coming. You can take it to the bank. You will receive those dividends. Your abasement is coming. Do not steal the glory of God. I'm going to leave it at that. He wants you to know that when this comes, that's what it's for. All right, let's jump back into this Matthew. I'm going to recap verse 14. For if you forgive men their trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. But if you forgive not men their trespasses, neither will your Father forgive your trespasses. Moreover, when you fast, be not as the hypocrites. That's pretenders, phonies. That's what the hypocrites are. Of a sad countenance, for they disfigure their faces, that they may appear to men to fast. Verily I say to you, they have their reward. But you, when you fast, anoint your head and wash your face, that you appear not to men to fast, but to your Father which is in secret. That means private. And your Father which sees in secret shall reward you openly. That's what I just said in the last part as we were talking. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust do corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. You worried about people breaking into your house, but he's telling us not to put these things up so that way we don't have to worry about that. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust do corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. No, nobody wants to steal your keys to the kingdom because they don't really care if they get into that anymore or not. Anyways, they're not interested. Quit thinking that everybody wants to go to heaven. No, they don't. Some of them like living in hell. Some of them think this is hell and that they're already living in it, and so they're getting as much as they can while they can. And they're trying to enjoy it, and they don't care. They don't want to live your way. They don't want to live a holy way. They like what they're doing. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. This ain't about making a name for myself. This ain't about making a name for yourself. This is supposed to be about talking about Jesus, which is what I try to talk about in these videos. I'm just tickled to get to be a part of his plan. I'm glad to be here. All glory to Jesus. None of this was done in and by myself because I can't do these things alone. Anyways, let's move on. Matthew 6:22. The light of the body is the eye. If therefore your eye be single, which means whole and healthy, your whole body shall be full of light. But if your eye be evil, which means diseased, your whole body shall be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in you be darkness, how great is the darkness? No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon, and that's worldly riches. You can't serve Satan. Therefore I say to you, take no thought for your life, what you shall eat or what you shall drink, nor for your body what you shall put on. Is not life more than meat, and the body than raiment? But see, y'all get anxious, and you have these anxiety attacks and stuff about stuff like this because you're not trusting the Lord. You're too busy worried about what you're not going to have that's going to get you up there with other people because you're still trying to be like the world. And why? This stuff's going to burn. It's going to burn. It's going to be gone. Then what you going to do? Your stuff will all be gone, and you'll have no God to go with it because you're rejecting God for these things. You're going to be empty-handed completely. Behold, the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns, yet the heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much better than they? Which of you, by taking thought, can add 1 cubit to his stature? And why take you thought for remnant? Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They toil not, neither do they spin. Let's recap those two verses for just a minute. Behold, verse 26. Matthew 6:26, going to recap. Behold the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much better than they, which means more valuable? Which of you, by taking thought, can add 1 cubit to his stature? And why take you thought for remnant? Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They toil not, neither do they spin. I'll see you in the next part.